Hi, welcome to Kevin Alone's audiobook reading Start With Why by Simon Sinek. Part 2. The Golden Circle. Why? How? What? There are few leaders who choose to inspire rather than manipulate in order to motivate people, whether individuals or organizations. Every single one of these inspiring leaders thinks, acts, and communicates exactly the same way. And it's the complete opposite of the rest of us. Consciously or not, how they do it is by following a naturally occurring pattern that I call the golden circle. The concept of the golden circle was inspired by the golden ratio, a simple mathematical relationship that has fascinated mathematicians, biologists, architects, artists, musicians, and naturists since the beginning of history. From the Egyptians to Pythagoras to Leonardo da Vinci, many have looked to the golden ratio to provide a mathematical formula for proportion and even beauty. It also supports the notion that there is more order in nature than we think, as in the symmetry of leaves and the geometric perfection of snowflakes. What I found so attractive about the golden ratio, however, was that it had so many applications in so many fields. And even more significantly, it offered a formula that could produce repeatable and predictable results in places where such results might have been assumed to be a random occurrence or luck. Even Mother Nature, for most people, a symbol of unpredictability, exhibited more order than we previously acknowledged, like the golden ratio, which offers evidence of order in the seeming disorder of nature. The golden circle finds order and predictability in human behavior. Put simply, it helps us understand why we do what we do. The Golden Circle provides compelling evidence of how much more we can achieve if we remind ourselves to start everything we do by asking, why? The Golden Circle is an alternative perspective to existing assumptions about why some leaders and organizations have achieved such a disproportionate degree of influence. It offers clear insight as to how Apple is able to innovate in so many diverse industries and never lose its ability to do so. It explains why people tattoo Harley Davidson logos on their bodies. It provides a clearer understanding not just of how Southwest Airlines created the most profitable airline in history, but why the things it did work. It even gives some clarity as to why people follow Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. in a movement that changed the nation, and why we took up John F. Kennedy's challenge to put a man on the moon, even after he died. The Golden Circle shows how these leaders were able to inspire action instead of manipulating people to act. This alternative perspective is not just useful for changing the world, there are practical applications for the ability to inspire too. It can be used as a guide to vastly improving leadership, corporate culture, hiring, product development, sales, and marketing. It even explains loyalty and how to create enough momentum to turn an idea into a social movement. It all starts from the inside out. It all starts with why. Before we can explore its applications, let me first define the terms, starting from the outside of the circle and moving inward. What? Every single company and organization on the planet knows what they do. This is true no matter how big or small, no matter what industry. Everyone is easily able to describe the products or services a company sells or the job function they have within that system. What's are easy to identify. How? Some companies and people know how they do what they do, whether you call them a differentiating value proposition, proprietary process, a unique selling proposition. Hows are often given to explain how something is different or better, not as obvious as what's. Many think these are differentiating or motivating factors in a decision. It would be false to assume that's all that is required. There's one missing detail. Why? Very few people or companies can clearly articulate why they do what they do. When I say why, I don't mean to make money. That's the result. By why, I mean what is your purpose, cost, or belief? Why does your company exist? Why do you get out of bed every morning? And why should anyone care? When most organizations or people think, act, or communicate, they do so from the outside in, from what to why, and for good reason. They go from clearest thing to the fuzziest thing. We say what we do, we sometimes say how we do it, but we rarely say why we do what we do. But not the inspired companies, not the inspired leaders. Every single one of them, regardless of their size or their industry, thinks, acts, and communicates from the inside out. I use Apple Incorporated frequently as an example simply because they have broad recognition and their products are easy to grasp and compare to others. What's more, Apple's success over time is not typical. Their ability to remain one of the most innovative companies year after year, combined with their uncanny ability to attract a cut-like following, makes them a great example to demonstrate many of the principles of the Golden Circle. It'll start with a simple marketing example. If Apple were like most other companies, a marketing message from them would move from the outside in of the Golden Circle. It would start with some statement of what the company does or makes, followed by how they think they are different or better than the competition, followed by some call to action. With that, the company would expect some behavior in return. In this case, a purchase. A marketing message from Apple, if they were like everyone else, might sound like: we make great computers. They're beautifully designed, simple to use, and user friendly. Want to buy one? If not a very compelling sales pitch, but that's how most companies sell to us. This is not the norm. First, they start with what they do. Here's our new car. And they tell us how they do it or how they are better. Got leather seats, great gas mileage, and great financing. Then they make a call to action and expect the behavior. You see this pattern in business to consumer markets as well as business to business environments. Here's our law firm. Our lawyers went to the best schools and we represent the biggest clients. Hire us. This pattern is also alive and well in politics. Here's the candidate. Here are her views on taxes and immigration. See how she's different? Vote for her. In every case, the communication is organized in an attempt to convince someone of a difference or a superior value. But that is not what the inspiring leaders and organizations do. Every one of them, regardless of size or industry, thinks, acts, and communicates from the inside out. Let's look at that Apple example again and rewrite the example in order Apple actually communicates. This time, the example starts with why. Everything we do, we believe in challenging the status quo. We believe in thinking differently. The way we challenge the status quo is by making our products beautifully designed, simple to use, and user friendly. And we happen to make great computers. Want to buy one?